So last class we implemented all these library functions. Here one more exercise is there. Write a C program to check whether a given string is palindrome or not. So we already checked whether a given integer is palindrome or not. Here we are going to check whether a given string is palindrome or not. So here also I am going to use a function to check whether the given string is palindrome or not. So the same logic what we have used in string reverse is going to use here. Suppose I have a string called madam. Palindrome we all know the string and its reverse will be same. So here also I am using I and j. The same condition also I am using while last class we studied about this condition while I less than j. There what we are doing here is if a of I equal to a of j. So palindrome means this 0 and this 4 will be equal. This 1 and this 3 will be equal. Similarly for this 2 and this 2 will be equal. So if it happens for all the characters in a string, we can say it as a palindrome. We can say it as a palindrome. So here I am going to use some function, and function will return 1 if it is a palindrome. Otherwise it will return 0. So if the first characters are matched, that means if a of I equal to a of j, what we have to do? We have to look for the next character. That means the I will move forward and j will move backward. So we will do two things, I plus plus comma j minus minus. We have else condition also. Else condition means if at some point if it doesn't matches, we can easily say it is not a palindrome. It is not a palindrome. So at that time we will return 0. The other thing is the while loop is completed. The while loop is completed. Still that this else condition is not occurred. That else condition is not occurred. The meaning is the string is a palindrome. There we can write return 1. So anyway it will be clear when we write the program return 1. So anyway I will write the program. So I think it will be more clear. So if you understand the concept of reverse, this one is also very easy to understand. Palindrome underscore string. So we are going to find string palindrome. So here I am using a function int is palindrome. Int is palindrome. So we are giving a character array because the input is a string. declaring some variables int I comma j. Here int is written because it returns 0 if it is not a palindrome, and it returns 1 if it is a palindrome. Initial value of I is always 0. So here I is 0. I'm making j also 0. We are writing a for loop for j equal to 0, a of j not equal to null, j plus plus. Here I am putting a semicolon. That means once it finishes the for loop, once this for loop finishes, the j value will point to last character. The j value will be pointing to last character. Then I am writing a while loop, while I less than j, if a of I equal to a of j, then we had to move I right towards right, and we had to move this j towards left. Else return 0. Don't worry, it will be clear when we discuss the example. Return 1. So let me take the same example. Madam. Then there will be end of the string marker, that is null. Zero, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this will be the string which is going to pass in this function. I equal to 0, j equal to 0, then this for loop will execute. Initially j is 0, then it will test the condition a of j, that is a of m, sorry, a of 0, that is m not equal to null is true. Anyway, it will not go inside that for loop because there is nothing inside the for loop, and we have a semicolon here. Then j plus plus will happen, j becomes 1. Again the condition will be checked. A of 1 not equal to null because a of 1 is a. Again j becomes 2. A of 2 not equal to null, so j becomes 3. A of 3 not equal to null, so j becomes 4. A of 4, that is m not equal to null, so j plus plus. So actually j becomes 5. After the iteration of this for loop, j becomes 5. But for the proper implementation of the program, j must point to 4. J must point to 4. So in the earlier program also, we just decrement j by 1. So for that I am giving a j minus minus. So now j is pointing to 4. After this j minus minus, j will be pointing to 4. I equal to 0, so I is already pointing to 0. While I less than j, here I is 0, j is 4, 0 is less than 4. and we are testing the condition. If a of I equal to a of j, m equal to m, then what happens? I plus plus. I will move forward. J minus minus. J will move backward. Again it will test the condition. I less than j. 1 is less than 4. If a of I equal to a of j, a of 1 equal to a of 4, that condition is true. I plus plus. I becomes 2. J minus minus. J also becomes 2. Again it will test the condition. If I less than j, that condition is false because I and j points to 2. When the condition is false, these statements will not execute. These statements will not execute. There is a statement written after that. Return 1. So the value 1 will be returned. That means the entered string is a palindrome. The entered string is a palindrome. So I am just changing one of the characters. And I am just writing B here. Here initially this m and m will be equal. At that time I plus plus and j minus minus will execute. So I will be pointing to 1, j will be pointing to 3. The condition is true, 1 is less than 3. Then what happens? It will test the condition. If a of I equal to a of j, that means a of 1 equal to a of 3. Anyway, it is not equal. So the else part will execute. So at that time the value 0 will be returned. The value 0 will be returned because it is not a palindrome. It is not a palindrome. Is it clear? If it is clear, please respond with a clear message. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Okay, thank you. So I am writing the remaining part also. Main. A character array will be there. A. Then I am writing one statement. Printf. Enter a string. Put us, get us a. Then I am writing a statement. If is palindrome of a, printf palindrome. Else printf not palindrome. So I will explain this line also. Sometime this may confuse you. So here there is if statement. Inside if, instead of condition, I am calling this function. So it will return either 0 or 1. So if it is 1, what is the meaning? If 1. If 1 means if true. If true, print palindrome. Is palindrome will be called and it will return either 0 or 1. If it return 1, the meaning is if 1. If 1 means true. If true, palindrome. If it returns 0, it is false. If false, it will not execute palindrome. It will go to else condition and it will execute not palindrome. Let me execute this statement. Some error is there. Missing array size. So I'm giving some 50. Semicolon I missed. So I'm putting the semicolon. So enter a string. MADAM. MADAM. Yes, it is a palindrome. Let me check another input. ABC. Not a palindrome. Let me check another one. AB. BA. It is also a palindrome. I hope you understood the concept of this program. If anybody have any doubt in this program, please ask. Any doubts? Otherwise, please respond with a clear message. So if I didn't use the function, here I have to use some flag variables and all those things. Since I use the function, whenever that condition is violated, I just return 0. Okay. So let me move to the next topic. Array of strings or a 2D character array. Suppose I want to store a list of students. So if you want to store a name of suppose I want to store a list of students. That means I want to create a name list. Suppose in your class we have 37 students. So if I want to store the name of a single student, I can use a string or a character array. Suppose I want to store all your names. Then there I have to use an array of strings. Actually, string is an array of character. Array of string means a group of character. A group of character. The first string or the first name will have an index value 0. The second string will have an index value 1 and so on. So but in C it is very easy to implement. Just declare a 2D character array. Just declare a 2D character array. So initialization. Here S of 5 of 10. The meaning is there are 5 rows and 10 columns. 5 rows and 10 columns. So here I have 5 rows from index value 0 to 4 and 10 columns are there. Inside that I have written cow within double quotes, goat within double quotes, ram within double quotes, dog within double quotes and cat within double quotes. Then what happens is the cow will go in the first row. After that, automatically a null symbol will be appended. Next, the goat will go in the second row and a null symbol will be appended. Similarly, the cat will go in the fourth row. Fourth row means index position 4 and it will attach a null symbol. The second one is another way of initializing two-dimensional character array. Here I didn't specify any size of rows. So if the size of rows is not specified, it will take automatically. Based on the number of strings, it will automatically take. here every row is a string. Every row is a string. That is S of I is a string. Here S of I means first row. S of I plus 1 means second row. S of 4 means fifth row. So here every row is a string. The following declarations are invalid. So if we specify only the row number or row size or number of rows, and I didn't specify number of columns, and if I trying to declare or initialize some strings, it is not valid. Similarly, if I didn't specify any number of columns or number of rows, and if I am trying to initialize the 2D character array, it is also invalid. It is also invalid. These two are wrong. So you have to do two exercises. Write a program to read and print list of students. Write a program to read and print list of students. So is it clear, the concept of 2D character array? If it is clear, please respond with a clear message. So it is just a two-dimensional array. The first row, we are going to store the first string. The second row, we are going to store the second string. That means in the index position 1, we are going to store the second string, and we are going to continue like that. And here if I have a two-dimensional array S, S of 0 denote the entire first row. The entire first row. So you have to think it like this. Array of strings. Array means group of elements of same data type. So in that array, in the first cell, earlier in the first cell we can store only one data item. Here we can store a string, a group of characters. A group of characters ending by a null character. So if you visualize that two-dimensional array, it will be looking like this. An array of strings. Array of strings. So let me do the first program. Write a program to read and print list of students. I'm just using a file name studlist.c. So here I'm not using any functions, I'm only using main function. So to store the student list, I need a two-dimensional character. Char. Suppose I am having some 50 students. Then I am just defining some column size 10. So 500 characters can be stored. In each row, I can store a maximum of 10 characters, including null. That means if the name contains the maximum of 9 characters, it can store properly. 10 means 1 will go for the null character. The last cell will go for the null character. Remaining only we can store the alphabets. I'm declaring some integer variables also. Int I, n. Printf. It is similar to reading the array. If you remember the program to read array, it is very similar to that. Printf. Enter number of students. Scanf %d, comma, ampersand n. Again, printf names of %d students, comma, n. then I have to use a for loop. For I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. So earlier when we read an array, we use scanf statement. Here instead of that I am using getters. Getters of a of I. A of I means it will iterate from 0 to n. Number of students means number of rows. So first it will read the first student and it will store in the first row. Next I have to display all the students. For that I am using a printf statement. Printf student list. Here using a for loop, put us. This for loop is also iterating from 0 to number of rows. So when I value is 0, it is put as a of I. That means the string in the first row will be printed. Let me try to execute it. Expected identifier. Okay, I didn't give any identifier name. I'm giving a. I missed a semicolon here, so I'm including it. Number of students 5. Name of 5 students. Rohit, John, Neetu, Priya. And the list of students are also printed. Rohit, John, Neetu, Priya. So one more thing. How many students I entered? What is the number of students? 5. But how many students I have read? Only 4 students. Only 4 students. Can anyone say the reason? Can anyone say the reason? Adidev.
Yes, sir.
Here I have entered number of students as 5 and I have only read 4 students. Why it happened?
I less than n.
I less than n. 0. I is 0, n is 5. That means the possible values are 0, 1, 2, 3,
അല്ല
4.
സാറ് 4 ആൾക്കാരുടെ പേര് മാത്രമല്ലേ എൻട്രി ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ളൂ.
I actually after entering the 4th student's name, the student list is printed. That is what happened. Okay, no problem. Just mute the mic. Here what happens, I am reading an integer. After that, here I am reading a string. After reading integer, I pressed an enter key. I pressed an enter key. Actually, that enter key is in the buffer and it is taken as the first string. And it is taken as the first string. So the thing is, I already discussed this problem earlier. So just include a get char statement. Okay. Let me try now. Five students. ADC, GHJ, WER, FGH, TYU. Now I can enter 5 students. Earlier, while I entered the 4 students, the student list is printed. Now the entire student list is printed. The 5 students are listed in the same order. Any doubt? Please respond. Any doubt? If it is clear, please respond with a clear message. Okay. Next program. Write a program to sort a list of students. Write a program to sort a list of students. So there is a list of students. We have to sort it in alphabetical order. We have to sort it in alphabetical order. So what we have to do? We have to apply some sorting. We have to apply some sorting. We already studied how to sort a integer array. How to sort an integer array. So we will just modify that program and we will implement the sorting algorithm for strings. So for sorting also I have to read n number of students and also I have to display n number of students after sorting. So these portions will be there in the sorting problem also. So I am just modifying this program. Save as student list sort .c. So here I am using the bubble sort. So I am opening the bubble sort and taking the program there. I'm just taking the bubble sort here. And I'm just copying it. Here I can't use this bubble sort because it is for integer array. Here I am doing it for string array. So I will call out some names. You have to say the modifications. Alex,
Yes, sir.
is there any modification in line number 1?
Engineer character.
Okay, very good. Any other modification in line number 1, Alex?
So,
Any other modification in line number 1?
രണ്ടിന്റെ മാർക്ക്.
No, this n is same. Earlier it is number of elements. Here it is number of students. So any other modification?
void.
Void is void. No. Nothing will return. So what is a student list? This one is a character array. We can store only a group of character. Here actually what I need is a string array. So what I will do? I have to store a two-dimensional character array. Very good. So one more square bracket is needed. That is the modification in header. Int I comma j comma t. Anyway, these I and j are all are control variables. It will not change. But t is a temporary variable. T is a temporary variable which is used for swapping. Okay, just keep that thing in mind. Ankur Jaiswal. Ankur Jaiswal. Anu Fasmin. Anu Fasmin.
Yes, sir.
What is the modification needed in line number 3?
3 int മാറ്റണം.
Okay, I had to change int. Anyway, I and j are already, it will be int because those are only to iterate the index values. So I am asking what will be the data type of t?
char char.
Okay, you are saying chart. So chart can only store one character. Here while swapping, we will interchange two names. We will interchange two names. So instead of T, so T can only store one character. So what will I use?
Square bracket.
Square bracket. Very good. I have to use a character array. I'm giving some size 50. Okay. Deepak,
Yes, sir.
what is the modification in line number 5?
5. I is equal 0. Then A. Then A. Sir. A.
Then where?
For I is equal 0. Semicolon A.
A. What is A?
And character A number. Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
There
sir.
is no change in line number 5. There is no change in line number 5. Because here the I will go from 0 to 4. 1 minute. Here also this I will go from 0 to 4 to go through all the rows of the name list. All the rows of the name list. So no change in line number 5. Okay, Deepak, is there any change in line number 7?
Yeah, yes, sir. 7. 7. It's also integer.
That
I
is all.
think.
So
No,
these
sir.
I
I think
and J,
no,
this
sir.
I, no, no correction. Okay, very good. So this I and J is actually dealing with the index values. Here also it is an array. So it will not change. It will not change. Okay. Filsa Kareem. Filsa Kareem. Filsa Kareem, are you there? Gogul Krishnan.
Sir,
Okay, Filsa. So what's the modification in line number 9? Okay, no problem. Remaining thing I will explain. Okay. So here A of j and A of j minus 1 are comparing. Actually here in this example, cow and goat is compared. Cow and goat is compared. Cow and goat is compared. So for string comparison, we can't use this greater than symbol, less than symbol, and equal to symbol. There we already studied some string comparison function. So here we are looking whether A of j is greater than A of j plus 1 is or not. So what is the equivalent string comparison function? It is, so first I will write here, then I will copy back strcmp string compare. I want to compare A of j comma A of j plus 1. So when I compare it, here actually A of j must be greater than A of j plus 1. Instead of this condition, I have to write the string comparison function. So if A of j greater than A of j plus 1, that means that if the first parameter is greater than second parameter, the value is greater than 1. This is the meaning. A of j, that means first string greater than second string means strcmp first string comma second string will be greater than 1. Any doubt in this statement? So I'm just copying it and pasting here. Okay. Any doubt in line number 9? If it is clear, please type a clear message. If you are clear with line number 9, type a clear message. I'm only getting few responses. If anybody have any doubts, please ask it openly. Okay.
Sir,
Okay, Mayank. Tell Mayank.
sir, not understood, sir. Can you explain again? Please, this line, ninth line.
Okay, 1 minute. So while sorting integers, I can use a of j less than a of j plus 1, because in bubble sort we are comparing adjacent two elements. There I can easily use greater than symbol, less than symbol, or an equal to equal symbol, something like that. But here I am comparing two strings. To comparing two strings, give me 1 minute. I will come back. Okay. All of you listen. So here I am in earlier bubble sort I am comparing two integers. Here string can't be compared using greater than symbol, less than symbol, or some equal to symbol. There we have some library functions. strcmp is one of the library function to compare two strings. So here it is, strcmp a comma b compares two strings. Oh, sorry, it is actually greater than 0. So it compares a and b. If the first string is greater than second string, here a of j greater than a of j plus 1, that means first is greater than second. Here a of j is written first. So if the first is greater than second, then the value will be greater than 0. So if it is greater than 0, we have to swap those two. If it is out of order, we have to swap those two. Mayank, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So earlier I mistakenly written greater than 1. It is not greater than 1, it is greater than 0. So I am pasting it here. Okay. Next, t equal to a of j. In string we can't use t equal to a of j. A of j is copying to t. A of j is copying to t. So we can't use like that. Instead of that, we will use a library function. Which library function? strcpy. strcpy t comma a of j. Always remember, t we didn't write an index value. Here I wrote an index value because it is a two-dimensional array. This j will just denote a row. A row contains a string. That string will be copied to another string called t. T is a temporary string. So strcpy t comma a of j. Here also strcpy a of j comma a of j plus 1. Here also strcpy a of j plus 1 comma t. So remember these steps. We can't write equal to because there is no assignment operator in string. There we have to use the library function, string copy. So there is no more things in the program. So it is done. So here we have entered the list. I'm coming back to the main program. The line number 26 and 27 is to read the student list. Then I am applying sort function. Bubble sort a of a comma, because a is the name of the array, a comma n. After that I am printing the student list. I I'm printing the student list. So it will print the sorted list. So I'm executing the program. Some error is there. Okay. So in the previous class we studied, previous class or class before that, when we pass a two-dimensional array into a function, we must specify the column size. So here I am giving it some 10, because here also the column size is 10. That's the error. Here, expected semicolon. Here I missed the semicolon, so I am including it. So here also I missed the semicolon, so I am including it. And the number of students, 5. So I am writing some names. Rishi, Gokul, Mary, Varsha, others. So now student list is sorted. Others, Gogul, Mary, Rishi and Varsha. So one more thing. So if to proper working of this program, either you give all the characters in small letters or in capital letter. Never mix it. If we mix it, it will not work properly, because the string copy function work based on ASCII value comparisons. Any doubt in this program? Any doubt? Any doubt in this program? If it is clear, please type clear in the chat box. You can expect this type of questions. So anyway, if it is an offline exam, we can expect. Online exam, I can't predict anything. So this is all about strings. Next we are going to move to a new topic.